Hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon, family. We are back for another Tuesday Bible study. I pray that your day is off to a great start. Despite the weather here in New Jersey, it's been rainy, but yet is all good because this is the day that the Lord has made. We rejoice and we're glad in it. Anyhow, if you're joining us, let me know. Send me a shout out in the chat, so I can shout you out. Um, been really excited about this series as we continue in the successful Christian series. Bishop kicked it off for the first 3 weeks. This past Sunday, we talked about vision, what it is and what it is not. Um, we've been in the Proverbs. This whole series is centered around the Proverbs, and understanding that there are two types that people or thoughts that we can have when looking at um, the Proverbs, and that is the wise, those who will hear and heed to, and then the foolish, those who will disregard those words that are spoken in the Proverbs. As Bishop explained to us, that the Proverbs isn't the laws of God, but they are very principled. Good afternoon, everyone. I see you coming in, Sister B. I see you, Miss Jean. I think I saw Latanya, um, Delise. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon as you're coming in, and God bless you to those who will join us on this later. Mother Murray, God bless you. God bless you. Hey, Minister Judy, my lovely wife. So happy that you guys on. But yes, so we're in the book of Proverbs in this entire series, and it's principles that we can use, as I explained this past Sunday, that wisdom is the application of knowledge. Um, we can obtain a lot of knowledge, a lot of things that we come to know, but it's to no avail if we just know it and not apply it. So wisdom is the application of the things that we know, the things that we come to know, the things that God revealed to us, right? So what is so important about that statement is, um, when we think about Stephen, God bless you, my brother. When we think about this vision, right, that we talked about, we understand that vision comes from God. As a believer, we get our vision from heaven. It is God's intervention into our lives. He's intervening. We may had a plan and direction for our lives, but when God came into our lives, when we accepted Christ, he gave us new purpose. He gave us new meaning, and gave us vision that we can follow. As I broke it down, vision is from God's lips to our ears, from our ears to our hearts, and from our hearts to our hands. So it is us sitting with God, dreaming with God, hearing from Him, and then applying it to our hearts, where it becomes a passion. It becomes our desire, things that we strive for each day, right? But not just it's in our hearts; it becomes a part of our doing in our hands, um, and then we see these things manifest in our lives. But the beautiful thing about vision, and it doesn't stop with us. It continues for generations and generations to come. God wouldn't give us a vision if it just stopped with us. It is for legacy. It is for generations to come. And as we talked about Joseph, we highlighted Joseph. I wanted to paint a picture of what what vision looks like. um, because Joseph is a prime example of that. When we look at Genesis chapter 37, it is introducing to us who Joseph is. He's about 17 years old at the time, and God, it is shown to us that he's favored by his father, which is a picture of us as believers being favored by God. And when God put his hand on our life and put a mark on our lives, it is well known. It is evident. You can see it, you can feel it, and others also acknowledge. But the interesting thing about that is sometimes those around us may not accept the fact that God favored us, but it doesn't change what he declared over our lives. It doesn't change. You're going to have those who hate, and it may be because they don't necessarily see it on their lives, but it can't stop you. It can't deter you. And so Joseph has this elaborate dream, and it seems as if it just came out of nowhere. But it wasn't out of nowhere, because we get to understand Joseph throughout the from 37, like chapter 42. Joseph had a relationship with God. It seems that Joseph spent time with God, dreaming with God, and asking God what his purpose was in life, right? And so we see Joseph. He has this dream in chapter 37, and he shares the dream. But there was some hate. There was some hate. As I told you, be careful who you share your dreams with. Be careful who you share your aspirations with, because some people just might not agree. They might not see the vision full well, right? And so he shares this dream, and he has this dream of these 12 sheaves, and him included. The 11 sheaves bowed down to the one sheaf that was standing upright, and that was a picture of um, Joseph being the one who stood upright, and the others bowing down to him. Right, um, as I said, those sheaves represented the brothers, and as we know, Israel, who is Jacob, who is the son of Joseph, and his brothers, I mean the father of Joseph. He it was declared to him that the nation of Israel will come from his lineage. So we have the 12 tribes of Israel, and each sheaf represents the 12 tribes. So is everyone who is connected to you. So Joseph sees this as, not only is God going to preserve you, but he's going to preserve everything that is connected to you. I want you to hear that, because what we found out later on in Genesis is that God did that dream that Joseph had came to pass. That vision that he had of preserving not just himself but his family and everything that is connected to it was blessed and prospered by the one. My God, if that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will. Because the very thing that God gives you, as I said, it's not just for you. It's for generation. It's for legacy. I'm sure we all can attest that we're living on dreams and prayers in time with God from generations past. I know that I am a recipient a recipient of prayers that my grandmother prayed, my great grandmother prayed, my grandfather prayed. I'm a recipient of that, and you are too. So we see Joseph, he has this dream, and we see God working it out. But the interesting thing is that Joseph, there was some trial, There was some ridicule. There was a lot that Joseph had to go through, and he had to endure. You know, vision gives you endurance. Vision allows you the endurance to move forward and push forward in spite of what your current situation is. Joseph, he found himself in the pits of life. He found himself in the prison. He found himself shackled and bind up, where it seems that it was over for him. But God, what He declared over Joseph's life still had to come to pass. And the interesting thing that we can see in Joseph is that he continued to believe what God said. I told you, it is vision is it helps you to have endurance. It gives you hope. It gives you hope for what you see now, what you see now, the current situation that you're in. There is hope because of what God showed me, because of what He declared over my life, the blessing that He promised He would give to me. I want you to hold on to it, whatever it is that God has shared with you in the past. Um, don't get caught up on what is your current situation, that it will hinder you from getting to your future. Don't get caught up with what is going on around you, to deter you from what's ahead of you. It is why we have in our cars when we're driving, we have the windshield and we have the rear view, and our rear view is smaller than our rear windshield. The windshield is made to be large, where you can see broad, you can see ahead of you, you can see it on the side of you. It is because we have to focus on what's ahead and not what's behind us, not what's on the side of us necessarily, but focus forward. That's what vision is. It is like you said, mother, is God had a plan for him, and He has a plan for you and I both, and our future. This is why we talked about this, because that is the success. Success comes by from vision, having a clear, aligned out plan for our lives. I challenge us all to begin to dream with God, because that's what Joseph did, and begin to detail, writing out what God had shown you, and then put a deadline on it. You know, it's not enough to say what God has given you, um, but you don't. He doesn't give you a deadline. No, God is very clear. It's going to happen. It's going to come to pass, and it will come to pass at this moment in time. And declare it. Keep on declaring it. Keep on believing. Keep on sharing with those who are around you, those who you can trust with what God has given you, because those very people will be the ones that will participate with you in seeing dream come to pass. We're all a part of a great vision here at Impact Church. We're all a part of a great vision that was given to the visionary Bishop DeAndre Salter, um, to see a family of believers striving for God's very best. So this Sunday, we're going to be talking about excellence. Excellence is the standard. It is the standard. Why is it the standard? Because for the believer, God, we serve a God of excellence. Um, all throughout Scripture, we see God very detailed with what He is trying to accomplish. He gives us clear instruction, and the execution of that instruction is excellent. So today, I want to read to you, and just to put in our hearts as we get prepared for this Sunday. I'm going to read from Colossians chapter 3. In verses 23 and 24 in the New King James Version, it says, "And whatever you do, do it heartily, as to the Lord and not to men, knowing that from the Lord you will receive a reward of the inheritance, for you serve Christ Jesus." Whatever it is that you do, whatever vision you have, whatever vision God has given you, um, do it unto the Lord. Do it wholeheartedly. Do it with all that you have, not halfway, not half baked, but all the way. Because you're not doing it unto men, you're doing it um, unto God, because God gives us all of these abilities, right? That business that you have, the execution of it is started from what God given you, and the success of it will be achieved because of you giving it all that you have. Um, the very best part of you, you give it each day. We strive for excellence. Here at Impact, that's one of our core values. And as we understand that its excellence isn't perfection, it's striving for it. We're not perfect, but it doesn't mean that we can't try, we can't attempt. It's a mark that God has set out for each and every one of our lives, that we aim for, that we strive for. It's what is set before us. So that vision that we have and the execution of that vision comes through excellence, through great effort, through passion and determination to see it come to pass. So this Sunday, we're going to talk about the standard of excellence. And we're going to be in Proverbs 17 in verse 2. I'm going to unpack that, and we're going to talk about what excellence look like and what is the standard. Family, thank you for joining me today. Thank you to those who will join later on. I pray that this bless you tremendously, and I pray that God will begin to bring clarity to you, so that you may be successful in all your endeavors. Until we meet again, God bless you all and have a great week on purpose. Peace.